In Chapter 7, The Nature of Industry, it is discussed how to best evaluate a firm's performance. When looking at performance, the two key factors that you have to understand are first, profits, and second, social welfare. So when looking at profits, these are essential for a company's long-term success and longevity. A common misconception amongst managers is that just because a firm is of large size or is increasing in size, that this will directly translate into large profits. However, a good manager recognizes that profits are going to greatly vary depending on the industry and that these must also be benchmarked against top competitors. So when we take Starbucks, for example, this is a very large firm with multiple storefronts in nearly every city across America, and Starbucks continues to increase in size each year. A good manager at Starbucks would recognize that just because they are increasing in size and they've become a household name, this does not mean that they are going to immediately receive good profits each year. Instead, they will compare them to the rest of the industry and, of course, to Starbucks' top competitors. So when we do take a look back at Starbucks' financial performance in the past year and look at their financial statements, we can see that they were actually at the top of their industry. Last year, Starbucks reported making over $17.9 billion in gross profit. And in addition to this, they reported making over $26.5 billion in total revenue. These numbers top the industry and were definitely strong compared to some of Starbucks' top competitors. For comparison, Dunkin' Donuts, which is one of Starbucks' top competitors, reported making over $1.2 million in gross profit and over $1.3 million in total revenue. This is definitely a large gap between the two companies, and it shows that Starbucks is certainly outperforming them in terms of profits. So moving on to the next way to measure performance, which is social welfare. Social welfare is another way to measure performance, and managers can use the Dansby-Willig Index to help them measure how much social welfare would improve if a firm were to alter their output towards a socially efficient manner. So when looking at the Dansby-Willig Index, firms with large index values tend to have poorer performance than those with smaller index values. So when we take Starbucks, for example, Starbucks falls under the food and beverage industry, which currently has an index of 0.51. This is a fairly average index number and shows strong performance, especially when we compare this industry to an industry like the chemical industry, which has an index of 0.67. And this reveals to us that Starbucks could increase their output and social welfare would rise, but not nearly as much as in other industries. So overall, when we examine both profits and social welfare, we can see that both of these things are critical for managers to examine in order to determine success and especially in order to determine firm longevity. Thank you.